Showcase. I am your host, Tanya Michelle. Yes, yes, yes. Another Friday, another Friday. Thank you for tuning in to the Artist Showcase. I'm your host, Tanya Michelle. Again, you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other social media platforms. Make sure that you click the like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Wow, my guest tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This young man is a pianist and composer. You are going to love him. William Hill III. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna read a little bit of his bio if I can pull it up. Uh, well, you know what? I'm gonna let William tell you a little bit about himself. We're gonna just go with the flow here. We're gonna discuss his journey through his music, what it's been like being an independent artist. We're gonna hear a few of his songs. Yes, we're gonna hear a few of his songs. You're going to love him, love him, love him. He's been playing since he was what, 5?
10.
10 years old. Long time, right? But when you hear him, he sounds like he's seasoned. And when I mean seasoned, I mean like just throwing the artists out there, Herbie Hancock season, right? Just very phenomenal. So please help me welcome to the Artist Showcase, Mr. William Hill III. Welcome, welcome to the Artist Showcase.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. You're no stranger to me because you were on my previous show, The Entertainment Lounge.
Yes.
We had some fun, had some live music. I appreciate that so much. So tell everyone out here, who is William Hill III?
Well, I am a pianist, composer, and arranger from Detroit, Michigan. I graduated from Detroit School of Arts downtown or Midtown, and I'm now currently going to the prestigious Manhattan School of Music. I've participated in many statewide jazz intensive programs, New Jersey, New York, West Virginia, and I recently came back from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, participating in a jazz workshop there. So I'm all over doing camps and performing locally, and also in New York, and anywhere the music leads me to.
Oh, awesome, awesome. What is it like going to school in Manhattan? New York is, oh my, big place.
Yeah, it's very I like going on, I would say, but you have to keep your head in the right place and focus on what needs to be done, and maintain your craft, or in my words, my gift that I've been given, and I'm really enjoying it, and having a really good time.
Yeah, awesome. So we just mentioned earlier that you've been playing since you were 10, 10
Yes, I
years
have.
old. Oh
Yes.
my God. Now, what inspired you to play the piano?
Well, I've always had a love for music since I was a child. My mother really nurtured that my ear for music. So back when I was 10, my grandmother bought a piano for my sister and I to play, and then after that, started taking lessons. But I would say beforehand, taking lessons, I would play some things on the piano by ear. Um, as I'm also classically trained, I played by ear
Okay.
frequently. So playing by ear opened up the music world for me, and allowing myself to create certain ideas for myself, or even write music at an early age. But yeah, I would say my grandmother bought a piano for the both of us, and we started taking lessons, and that really um, ignited my love for playing the piano.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, do you play any other instruments besides the piano?
I play some percussive instruments, like the xylophone, glockenspiel, tambourine, bongos, or anything really. So really anything, some things that have like a keyboard, structure to it, but sometimes percussive instruments.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of artists. They'll play a few instruments here and there. But you love the piano the most. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Um, Now you mentioned that you play by ear. Is that hard to do? Hard to play by ear?
Well, for me, it was easier as that was a gift for me. But for most people, it can be a challenge. Some people will have ideas in their head, but they can't really execute it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Most people sight read, you know, playing the piano or in any instrument, but playing by ear kind of like puts you up there in terms of like being able to really execute what you want to execute. Like I said, if you may hear something, if you play it by ear, you're able to play it obviously because you can hear it.
Right.
But for me, as I said, I started playing by ear, but and I wasn't the best reader at an early age. So most times I would just play any song that I heard by ear, not reading it. But I will say that having the ability or the structure of reading is a very fundamental thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like you learn how to play the piano,
Hmm.
but then you're able to play by ear, so
Hmm.
you know what keys
Hmm.
what to play. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. Wow. So when did you become interested in playing jazz? Or you play all types of genre of music though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
one do you like playing best?
Um. Well, jazz is my first love.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a love for the jazz, but I would say for any other genre, I would say like funk, like R&B, really anything that has a groove to it.
Okay.
That's like my biggest forte is you know, if it has a groove to it,
Yeah.
that's my thing.
Yeah. And then when you take it to your own, you make it your own, you
Hmm.
know. I know a little later, well, I may play this first. Salt Peanuts.
Hmm.
We play that on the entertainment lounge, and I loved it so much. But you took it and you made it your own,
Hmm.
and that was by Dizzy Gillespie,
Gillespie.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So that was really good.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, I'm going to play that right now because that was one of my favorites, and I love it so much. So let me go on and find this. And again, everyone, if you go to William Hill the Third on YouTube, you can find a lot of his performances on here. And gosh, it's just so many on here. But this is one of the ones that we played on my show, Salt Peanuts, originally done by Dizzy Gillespie, and I love it. I love it so much. So here it is.
And now to something new and exciting in the AI space, Grammarly Go. It's a new product that offers personalized
Um, um, um.
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love that one. I had to put that. I had to play that part in. Dun, 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 dun. I love that part. I love it. Love it. What made you choose that piece?
Well, that recording was for a competition I did last year, the National Young Arts competition that takes place in Miami, Florida. I've been competing in that for a few years, since I believe I was sophomore in high school, and I would send in different tapes for that competition, jazz standards, and along that side. But last year was my last year doing it because of my age, and also because I'm in college. But I chose that piece because, for one, that's a new piece that I've never done before, and it's one of my favorites. And I don't hear many people play that tune trio,
Yeah.
so I decided to take a stab at that tune. Do what I could do. Didn't do
Yeah.
my best at it.
You did too. When you're creating music, or you're a composer too. So, what is your creative process?
I would say my creative process is, most times I have an idea, but most times I don't.
Mhm.
Um, Mostly my compositions come across as like a spontaneous process, um, really just out of the blue. But I would say, for me, really just having like a certain idea or a certain goal that I want to reach. So, say if I want to have like a jazz piece that swings really hard, that's my motive. I want the tune to like swing really hard, so it has to have certain elements
Mhm.
that will make a tune swing as hard as it possibly can.
Oh yeah.
Um, and also just I hear things all the time in my head. So if I hear something in my head, I'm gonna add that, either to that piece or another piece,
Mhm.
or that idea might spark up another piece itself.
Oh yeah.
Um, so really just having the piece captivate, not just myself but also my audience, but truthfully myself, because I'm the person who's writing it.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I would say, something that makes the tune like mean something,
Yeah.
not just having like a tune be a tune, but it has to mean something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And we can hear that in your music too. Definitely can hear that in your music. Is there a musician out there that you would love to collaborate with?
Love to collaborate with. Good question.
Like I can see you collaborating with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I would say he's like, pretty much at the top of my lists. In terms of like R&B, but if jazz, maybe Herbie Hancock, or a lot of the people that are up there that have inspired me. Um, Sometimes I even see them in New York performing, and I
Oh,
have a chance
cool.
to meet a few of them and everything. But I would say Stevie Wonder is on my list, and Herbie Hancock is also on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock, gosh. I have been listening to him since I was little. Since I was probably, I'm going to say around 6 or 7. I used to be a modern dancer, so one of his songs they played, during our performance we did at the Latin Quarters, which is like ages, ages ago. And so yeah, Herbie Hancock, he is truly a legend for real. He is truly a legend. When you're on stage performing, what is that like for you?
Um, what is it like for me? I believe it's a chance for me to really express myself, but also express my gift to those who are in the audience. Last night I had a performance at Cliff Bell's, my
Hmm.
debut at Detroit Jazz Club, Cliff Bell's, and this was a chance for me to, share my gift, and also share some music that I've written in college and also at home. But really just to open myself up to my audience, and tell them who I am musically, but also as a person, um, sharing both characteristics of myself, um, that I've been blessed with. So I would really say, just opening myself up to my audience, and really just having a good time, and making the music mean something more than music, but an emotional feeling.
Yeah. And I caught a clip of that too. Shout out to Cliff Bells. I haven't been there, get a chance to visit there at all, but I did see a clip of that performance, and it was amazing. I think that's one of the. Was that one of the clips that you sent over to me? Yeah, I think so. We're definitely going to play that in just a few seconds. But yeah, very, very great performance. So shout out to Cliff Bell. They always have really good artists that comes through there. Yeah, a lot of independent artists
Yeah.
that comes through. If you weren't playing the piano, and I know we discussed, the other instruments that you play, but if the piano wasn't there at all for you, what other instruments would you play and why?
I believe I would play either guitar or bass.
Okay.
Most likely the bass because I love rhythm. I love groove a lot. Um, and just the bass is something that really just sticks out in
Yeah.
any piece of music. And that's one of the first things that you can hear and feel really hard in your chest. So um, playing the bass looks like a fun instrument to play, and I like the sound of it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, do you have, let's see, how can I put this? Hmm. I know we'll come back to that question because I want to play this piece that you played last night, and I kind of checked it out. Your father put this on. I was like, oh my God, he put it on Facebook. It was remarkable. Let me see if this is the one. I'm going to go ahead and I think this is the one. Let me see. Tell me something good. Is that one of them? Is that it?
That piece was performed with my group at a club in New York, Harlem, New York, with my group WH3,
Okay.
the WH3 trio, with the featured guest Daniela Pruitt or Daniela Hope, and that was about I believe in May, and that was a performance I did there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead since I have it up. We'll go ahead and we'll play that first. This is Tell Me Something Good.
Sometimes you gotta like.
I love it. I love that. Oh, I like that. Ooh, hot. What made you choose that piece?
Well, that's been one of my favorite tunes ever to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time of that, process of trying to find tunes for that performance, that was one of them that I wanted to do because I've never chosen to play that tune,
Oh, okay.
in any of my shows that I do. So
Mhm.
that was the tune that really sparked in my mind to play and just have a good time on that one.
You mentioned to me now you have a band that plays with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us that name again of that band, and how do you go about Now, do you pick your band members, and how you go about doing that so you know which band is right for you?
The process of choosing my band, I really find people who really speak to me musically, but also, as people, as, genuine human beings that, have a certain persona to them. A persona meaning they bring, just a good spirit with them. And, obviously having people who can like really play as well, but, I like having a good time on and off the bandstand. So I generally find people who, have a good spirit to them
Yeah.
both ways.
Is it hard to find band members at all? That was it hard for you
For me, no.
to find the right fit?
Yeah, for me, no. Most times I listen for people, and I look around, especially at school, and also being at home sometimes, but being at school, not knowing a lot of people, the only way you get to know people is by hearing them play, or obviously introducing yourself to them. But that was my process of having to find people, just hearing them play, firsthand, and then talking to them and everything else, and going forth from there.
That's a good idea. I like that. Wow. You've been all over the place in school in Manhattan. You've been performing. Uh, Gosh, you've been all over like the last few weeks performing and things like that. It's got to be exciting for you. It's got to be exciting. I'm gonna stop right here for just a few minutes, everyone, and we have some announcements. Some announcements coming up. Be sure that you join us on Sunday, July 16th, for the 28th Annual Michigan Jazz Festival at the Wjzz Center, Schoolcraft College in Livonia. It's all jazz, live in person with over 35 bands across 6 stages all day long. And guess what? It's all free, all right? You can't beat that. 35 bands, 6 stage. Oh my God, and all free? It's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to be there. We got some people on staff from WJZZ is going to be there. So make sure that you come check us out. Come check out the festival. The festival features the best Michigan jazz musicians, convenient free parking. Fun, you can't beat that. It's going to be air conditioned comfort, great food. The Schoolcraft College of in Livonia is an award-winning has an award-winning craft beer they have. Oh, okay. Again, it starts at noon. Jazz clinics begins at 10:30. For more information, you want to go to michiganjazzfestival.org. Yeah, that's going to be hot. Again, that's going to be Sunday, July 16th. So you want to make sure you check that out. Free parking? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm going to be there. Our next one at the Recovery Park presents the Summer Concert Series. Yes, Saturday, July 22nd, we have Larry Lee and the Back in the Day Band. Oh, yes. I believe I've heard them before. Pretty good band. That's going to be July 22nd. July 29th, that's also on this Saturday. We're going to be featuring Brandon Rose and Soul Therapy. Yeah, that's it's tight. That's tight. The next one is Trifocal. That's going to be Saturday, August 5th. Okay, so you want to check out those bands again. That's going to be held at the Recovery Park at 5470 Shane Park, right here in Detroit. Make sure that you go get your tickets on Eventbrite. Yes. Going to be awesome. And then we got coming up actually next week. Yes. We have the WJZZ Legacy Jazz Series, the premier showcase for globally recognized and emerging artists. It's coming Thursday, July 13th from 7 to 9. We have Met LaRusso Trio. Yes. With special guest that's going to be hosting is Sky Covington. Yes, you all know Sky Covington. She's been around for a minute. Jazz singer, poet. I remember looking at Sky a long time ago, almost 20 years ago, when she first started doing poetry. Amazing young lady. You don't want to miss it. She's going to be hosting this event. The tickets are 2 for 1. All right, 2 for 1. You can't beat that. It's going to be at the Aretha Jazz Cafe, and that's located in Detroit on 350 Madison Street. All right, so you don't want to miss that. Again, that's the WJZZ Legacy Jazz Series, July 13th from 7 to 9, and it's Matt LaRusso. I'm sorry, trio band. So you don't want to miss that, especially tickets 2 for 1. Yeah, don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it. Yes, yes, yes. For those of you who are tuning in, you're watching the Artist Showcase live on WJZZ Cool TV. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other social media platforms. Make sure that you click the like, follow, share, and comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Artist Showcase on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. My guest tonight, I can't talk this evening. My guest tonight is none other than William Hill III, pianist, composer. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing young man. We've played a couple of his songs. We're going to play a few more later on in the segment, the last half of this show. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, your journey as an independent artist. We have especially here in Detroit, we have so many artists here, so many great talent like yourself who's gone independent and trying to get their music out there. Um, what has the journey been like for you so far?
Well, first I have to, mention the many people that have helped me get here to the point where I am. Many mentors here, Detroit-based mentors such as Wendell Harrison, Marion Hayden, Ralph Armstrong, John Dixon, Red Darrell Campbell, and many, many others, and also my family and friends and dear loved ones. But I would say along the journey that I've learned a lot about not even about music, but just being a person, at best. Um, I would say like the biggest thing that I've learned, just being an artist, period, is that I have the ability to captivate people emotionally and spiritually. And which with each audience is a different type of capturing of emotions.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a young audience. I might play certain songs or certain type of music for like a younger audience rather than an older audience or middle aged audience. I might play something different. So each audience I play for is a different type of vibe. So last night I would say the first set, I played more swing and jazz, and the second set I was a lot more loose in playing a lot of funk and R&B, et cetera, et cetera. But I would say, as I said, with each audience, it's a different type of energy. But as far as the process goes, as my journey, the opportunities are endless. There's never not an opportunity, I would say.
Yeah.
Not just for myself, but musicians, period. There's always something going on that we can, do, even as a community. And speaking of like community, I really learned that, even from being here, that Detroit is a very, very community-based city. Not even with just music, but for what I'm talking about, music.
Yeah.
Being at a place like Cliff Bells, I've learned since I was at a young age that community is where it's at. Especially being here, and we're all here to help each other. And there's a saying in the community, each one teach one. So if we have a certain gift, we teach that to some other person, and if they have a certain gift, they teach it to us, so that we may all be knowledgeable and can be good examples.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true. Do you find it with the independent artists that's out here that's trying to, well, let's put it like this: the independent artist that's already, if not halfway established, is established. Do you find it? Do you find that some of them really don't want to give advice or want to help one another. Because I sometimes, and not all musicians and not all singers do that, but I'm hearing it from a few of the artists that when they're coming up and they got their music and they're trying to get it out and they want to learn from these other artists that's been out here for a while, they're not willing to share their experience. They're not willing to help them any kind of way. You didn't find that at all?
No,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah,
did not.
yeah. But do you find that, and have you heard about that? Have you found that in other, maybe another artist that you may know that has experienced that? And then why? Why would they do that?
I personally have not heard that from myself, of course, but anyone else. But I would say, to answer your question, why,
Hmm.
um, I really feel like, as I said, each person is different.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to tell, their process of how they do certain things.
Hmm.
Some people want, their information private,
Yeah,
which is understandable.
that's true.
But I believe you have to also understand that, there are people who want to, aspire, that are inspired by, people who are doing what they want to do. And
Hmm.
sometimes they may want to, ask, how do you do this and why do you do this? But sometimes people do not want to reveal, how they move around, as a musician, artist, anything you want to call it. Most people just want to keep it private, as I said. But,
Yeah.
as I said, each person's different. And, you know, some people will share, some people won't
So
share.
I'll share, yeah.
You know.
Especially like the business side of it too, because it's not just being on stage or what have you, but it's the business side of it too. You got contracts, you may have to have to read.
Mhm.
There's policies, conditions, terms, conditions when it comes to being on a record label.
Mhm.
Even that type stuff. You would think that those artists would share some of that with I guess the pros and cons is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
And some of them just they just don't.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
but that's all part of the learning process and all part of the business. You know,
right.
it'd just be nice if we see more of that. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, that's for sure. One name that sticks out to me when I saw the documentary was Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has inspired so many musicians out here,
Mhm.
and have helped them along the way,
Right.
And I don't see too many Quincy Jones
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
here, you know. Say as far as helping out other artists. Now there'll never be another Quincy Jones ever, but yeah, it's like he was able to get a lot of the artists and things out here and help them out. That's for sure. Is there? I've always, and we discussed this on my show, that I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. I've always was told, oh my God, you got long fingers, you should play the piano. And at first I'm like, yeah, you know. But as the years went on, even now at 51, I still want to play the piano. It's on my bucket list, right? How would you? What kind? Is there a particular piano that you would suggest to start working with?
I believe that it really doesn't quite matter which one you start on. For me, I started on the upright,
Okay.
just because that was what was offered. But I play on grands, uprights, electric keyboards, and everything. And I think it really depends on what you want or what you prefer to play on, because you don't have to have the top notch quality, just to start off first. I would say gradually, move your way up in terms of what you want to play on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I always wondered that. I'm like, is there a certain piano that that I can start playing? And then any advice that you would give to the people out there, who wants to start, playing the piano? How would you know if that's the right thing or the right instrument for that person? Do they have to have long fingers? You know, um, how can that person, what advice would you give them for that?
Advice I would say, you have to first to know what you want. not just the music, but what you want in life. Where do you see yourself in? I would say, where do you see yourself in 5 years if you were to do music or play the piano? Would you see yourself being happy? Would you see yourself, being, bored or left out of other activities? You have to really like, be committed, to what you're about to, partake in.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, I would say, just know what you want, but also in the process of like doing this, you have to also find the joy in it and,
Oh yeah.
really encourage yourself to keep pushing because, there's like a lot of things in this that you can really, talk yourself down about. And, I've had times of doing that and, being, not motivated and not encouraged to do certain things. But, there has to be a certain push inside of you and from other people around you, to help encourage you to keep moving. So, yeah.
Did you ever get discouraged along the way when you were practicing and doing playing piano? Did you ever get discouraged at all? I was like,
Yeah.
F it, I'll just quit. Just quit.
I wouldn't say I would quit, but,
Yeah.
I have had points, and sometimes now, but it's not as bad as it was back then of, wanting to take a break and, thinking I won't be as good as, such and such or really not believing in myself. But I've learned along the way, and even as of recently, to you have to have the courage in your heart to to really encourage yourself because you're your greatest critic,
Yeah.
and you have to love yourself no matter what you do, um, and also know to like it's okay to be discouraged or sad or it's okay to have your feelings felt for
Yeah.
yourself, but you always have to push yourself and love yourself because, as I say, you're your greatest critic.
That's true. That is true. Good advice. Good advice. Did you find we talked a little bit about your journey? Was there any? What is some of the greatest challenges throughout your career so far during your journey? What are some of the greatest challenges?
I would say the one of the few greatest challenges, um, is just having to understand that people of my skin color won't always be in certain programs that I do.
Mm.
I was recently in Amsterdam and for a jazz workshop at the Conservatorium van Amsterdam, and there were only about two other people of my skin tone.
Wow.
And just having to understand that I have to represent, you know, not even just my skin color, but like also where I've come from, being from Detroit, and the legacy that is upheld here, and it's having to really like focusing on that too.
Yeah.
Um, I would say another challenge is just finding motivation a lot sometimes. Now it's gotten a lot better, but I would say years back the motivation has had to have been brought from other people and really not a lot from myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's been difficult to push myself to do certain things and to move about, but as time progresses, I've gotten better. I would say that another challenge is sometimes writing can be a challenge. Writing isn't, writer's block and everything, but writing, ideas don't spur up, all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to wait and, have the song that I'm writing, go by block, step by step process.
Right.
And sometimes that can be a challenge, but it's a good challenge. I believe there isn't a such thing as like a bad challenge.
Right.
So I believe that everything is good.
Yeah. Gosh. Wow. Good. 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 I am going to play another song. Getting down to the last 10 minutes. Can I play with your permission? I see one on here, and I was listening to it. I see another one on here too. I didn't get a chance. I want to play this one I see on here, Edward Lee piano solo
Yep.
with Joe Farnsworth.
Yes.
Okay. Can I play that one?
Yes, you may.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's take a listen to this one. I was listening to this before you came in. So yeah, I love this one. This is really good. yes. Love it. I love that. What made you all did that piece?
So that was from my first performance in New York at a club called Small's Jazz Club in the Village, West Village, with jazz drummer Joe Farnsworth and a few other um, jazz musicians that I've watched over the years. But now that being in New York, I've had the chance to perform with them. But as I said, that was for my first jazz performance or performance period in New York at a jazz club.
All right, very first performance?
Yes.
Can't tell. Phenomenal. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to, folks out there who wants to get into this industry? We talked a little bit, almost not kind of touched on the pros and cons a little bit, but what would you say who folks who want to come into this industry? What advice would you give them?
Advice that I would give them is to first follow your dreams and aspirations, but also know that the journey is not easy. There will be many challenges that you'll face, and everyone won't understand you. Everyone won't understand what you're doing, and sometimes you will lose your audience if you do like certain things. But you have to understand that you're on a certain path that you've set for yourself, and if you see yourself going there, that's where you're going to go. You have to manifest whatever you're going to put your mind to, and stick with that along the way. Don't change your mind because someone may disagree with you. You have to always, if you believe in your heart, you'll know. So, yeah.
That's for sure. As a musician, what is your definition of success?
I don't believe that success is like one like concrete thing. I believe that success is a very like longevity
Mm-hmm.
feeling that you'll feel it once you get there.
Yeah.
But success to me doesn't really feel like this is just one salad thing. I believe it's like a continuation of a celebration, a celebration of yourself.
Good. That's a good answer. I like that. Is there any we touched on a little bit about your journey and favorite musicians, pianist. Um, as a pianist, gosh, I look at you and I look at your videos and it just seem this a hard it just seemed like it's just a hard process, playing the piano and going through the journey and things like that. But like you said, you're gonna have your ups and downs, you're gonna have your pros and cons.
Right.
Um, definitely stick to it, stay encouraged.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. That goes with any artist, whether you're a pianist or a musician, whether you're a business owner like myself. We go through challenges and things like that, and it's just good to stay encouraged and keep at it, and keep going. When you do a song, is there a worry that, gosh, if I perform this song, would my fans like this song? Did that ever cross your mind at all?
No, I would say no because this is what I'm bringing to the table, and if you don't quite like it, then you don't have to. You don't have to listen. I appreciate the support and the commentary and everything about that, but as I said before, everyone won't understand what you're doing, and that's okay. Everyone has their own preferences, but as I said before, you have to believe in yourself and continue the path that you've chosen for yourself.
All right. The last 5 minutes in the show. Oh my goodness! Coming to the last few minutes. Is there anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Well, first I just want to say just thank you for the continuous support and love. I really appreciate everything that everyone has done for me, close ones and ones that are abroad. Some people that I don't even know, but I would just want to say thank you and I really do appreciate all the love and support throughout the year. So yeah.
For sure, for sure. Now, is where can everyone find your music on social media?
Okay. Well, first I post on both TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at the THEE Will Hill 3. Again, THEE Will Hill 3, and at Facebook at William Hill the Third, and also on TikTok the same as Instagram, the THEE Will Hill 3.
All right, all right. Any upcoming performances, events, concerts? What you got going on the rest of the year?
The rest of the year, well, for this month, I have an interview coming up with WJZZ again.
Okay.
That I'll be performing with a few friends of mine. Jerome Perry coming up on the 19th, performing at the Ypsilanti Jazz Festival with Jerome Johnson.
Okay.
And then I'll be at G Nor in Grand Rapids on July 29th. In August, I have a few hits in August that are coming up. But yeah, just stay posted on my social media platforms to stay updated.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. I got a few more minutes. Got a few more minutes. See if I can pull this up real quick. In the last 3 minutes, I just took this down. It me to take it down. Let's see. Let me pull this up here. Because there was one other song I really want to play really quick before we head off. Let's see. Yeah, you be sure, everyone, that you go on to William Hill the Third. Make sure that you check him out. Check out his concerts. What's coming? All of his concerts that are coming up. You don't want to miss any of that. Can I play Bop Drop?
Sure.
Can I play that? All right. Let's take a listen to this one. Let's see if this plays. Now, if you guys want to hear the rest of that, you got to go to YouTube. William Hill the Third. Yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it. I want to thank you, William, for coming on to the Artist Showcase. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. And for those of you out there, you can follow WJZZ Cool TV, the Artist Showcase, on WJZZ Cool TV on Facebook. Twitch, Twitter, and other social media platforms, and of course, YouTube. I will see you all next week. Yes, yes, yes. On the 21st, let me say this real quick. On the 21st, we're going to have Costella. She's going to be in the house all the way from LA. Yes, yes, yes. Costella, you don't want to miss it. Singer, songwriter. You don't want to miss her. That's Friday, July 21st. Very, very talented young lady. I can't wait to have her on the show. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and be safe. Thank you. Have a great day.